Okay, so we talked about the concept of multiplication in the earlier slide. So what is a multiplication? What's the concept of multiplication? So for multiplication problem, we know number of groups and number in each group. So we're trying to find out the total. That's the concept of multiplication. So one number represents number of groups, the other number represents number in each group. And then we are trying to find out the total. Total is going to be our answer. That's what we are trying to do for the multiplication problem. So first number represents number of groups and second number represents number in each group. So according to the community property, you can switch the order, but you have to be consistent for your kids. If we want to use first number as number of groups, then please be consistent. If we want to do second number as number of groups, then you please be consistent. So kids can find out the unit of the problem easily. So I want to introduce one activity that's really good to introduce multiplication concept. This is a great way to show introductory multiplication concept because for beginning level, they want to know the concept of multiplication. So we are using single digit number to represent what a multiplication is. So if we have your strategy book, we are going to turn to page 15. So we are going to use this problem in here. You can see the picture here, how we're going to use math in here. So let's read the problem together. 7 teams are participating in the annual relay race. Each team has 4 runners. How many runners are participating in the race? So, do we know number of groups? Yes, there are 7 teams. 7 teams are participating. Do we know number in each group? Yes. How many members in each group? Each team has 4 runners. So I have 4 runners in each team. So I'm going to use 7 times 4, 7 groups and 4 in each group. So I want to find out the total. This is the problem. So I'm going to demonstrate how you can use this math. So if you have this, you can download this math and print out from Canvas. But I enlarged this work mat and then laminate for my classroom use. So you can use that if we want to, or you can use the original size. But bigger is easy to work with the kids' hand. So I want to use this one. So you have work mat and the recording sheets. You need to have both of them to complete the activity here. So you have boxes here. So each box represents number of groups. So how many groups I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have total 10 groups in here. And inside of each box, I can represent number in each group. So according to the problem, there are 7 teams and each team has 4 runners. So I'm going to have 4 runners. I'm going to represent 4 runners using my chips. Okay, so this is first one group. And how many do I have? I'm going to have 7 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many so far? I have 5 groups. So I think it's a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I'm going to have 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? 7. Okay, so I have 7 groups of 4. So kids can visually represent the problem. So each chip represents each runner, and I have 4 runners in each team, and I have 4 groups. So this is a good way to start, so they can see what multiplication look like. But now we don't want them to use chips and drawing all the time. We want them to use numbers, right? To be more abstract, and then to be more efficient way of doing multiplication. And this is what we are using for multiplication recording sheet. So if you have this one here, I want to transfer this information in here. But very similar. I have a box in here. So each box represents what? Number of groups, and in each box you can represent number in each group. So I want to represent in here. So I have in each team, how many runners I have? I have 4 runners, and I have 4 runners in each team. And how many teams do I have? I have 7 teams. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to write down 7. So this box in here represents number of groups. Okay? And my equation is 7 groups of 4. That's what we are trying to find out. 7 groups of 4. I want to find out. Right? And then, so I'm going to count this. You can do skip counting 4, 8, 12. But I'm going to use doubling strategies because I love double. So this is 8. This is 8. And this is 8. This is 16. And this is 12. This together is 28. So I know that my answer is 28. And what's my unit? 28 of what? 28 runners. So kids can represent conceptually multiplication on the mat using pictures or drawing. And they can also transfer this information into recording sheet abstract way. So they can use both ways. So if they need more practice how to find out 28, they can still use this to count. But if they have skillful learners, they'll be able to find out answer using this one. So maybe beginning level, because building a concept is important, you can use this method to represent and explain what multiplication means in mathematics. And you can move slowly into the reading recording sheet so they can use numbers than chips. Okay, good. So I want you to do this for your own learning. So if you go to PowerPoint in here, there are multiplication math problem here. So I want you to practice to be able to teach for your kids. At least 1 or 2 problem out of here. So 3 pizzas are cut into 8 slices each. How many slices of pizza are there in all? Right? Then how many groups? 3 pizza, and how many each group? 8 slices each. So concept of number of groups and number in each group is very important because we are going to use the same concept for division. So we always make sure that which one represent number of groups, which one represent number in each group is a critical concept they need to understand, be able to successfully in the division. Okay, good. So in the next, okay, so this is for the multiplication work, but I hope you can practice on your own for your own learning for your students. Okay, thank you.